About 30% of our water in our homes is lost through faulty toilets. That can equal to about a $600 to a $2,000 water bill. The three components to the toilet is going to be the flush mechanism, which we also call sometimes the flapper, the refill mechanism, and then the bowl siphon. When we flush our toilets, we utilize the handle here. It opens the flapper and allows the water to discharge down into the bowl siphoning, taking the debris out to the sanitary system. Once all the water in this tank has been exhausted, it closes the flapper, and then the refill mechanism will now activate and allow the tank to be refilled with more water. Now what we'll do at the leakage investigation is remove the top and try to get a visual inside the tank. The tank itself will tell us a lot. If you want to look inside this tank here, you'll see some hard water lines all the way around the tank. And I like to refer this as like water growth rings, similar to what you would see on a tree. This tells me right here that this water level in the tank has been up and down over a period of years. The dark brown line indicates to me that this water level has been constant at that rate or at that level for some time. If you take a pencil and lay it across the overflow tube and line it up with the lines that are inside the tank, you'll notice that the water level has come up and over into the tube, causing a loss of water and causing the customer to pay for more water than they are using currently. If you notice down inside the tank also, there's a black line here. And this is the refill line that the water level should be set at inside the tank so that you adequately use the proper amount of water. You can do two simple tests to determine whether or not your toilet is operating efficiently. And what we're going to do is utilize a little bit of food coloring that's normally in your food pantry at home. And what you can do is you can choose any color, place a few drops inside the toilet tank itself, and then walk away and come back in about 30 minutes. If you come back in 30 minutes and you open up the lid to the toilet and look inside the bowl siphoning and you see discolored water that's the same color that was in the tank, then that tells you that the flapper is not seating completely down. It's either got some calcium buildup around the edges here, or it's got a piece of sand or something from the water flow inside the tank causing the flapper not to seal all the way, so some of that water is leaking through and into the bowl. What you need to do with that is you need to look at your flapper. Go ahead and run your fingers over it, and if your fingers become discolored, that means that your flapper is starting to degrade and break down. For 88 cents, you can take care of that problem and save a whole bunch of money. The second test is what we call a pencil test. What you do is you get where the water line is, take a pencil or a marker, mark that water line, shut the water service off at the 90-degree valve that's normally located at the left-hand side of the toilet underneath the flush handle, okay? Once you shut off the water supply, again, walk away for 20 or 30 minutes, come back, check it. If the water level has dropped below your penciled line, that's again indicative that the flapper is bad. Now, the toilet is designed, the toilet tank itself is designed to have water and water only in it. Some people want to take bricks and put inside there. People want to take 2-liter bottles, filling them full of sand and put them in there, and they think by displacing the volume of the water that they're going to conserve water. Well, what they really probably will do is when they flush that toilet and that bottle or that brick shifts and moves over and blocks that flapper from closing completely, or it prevents the refill mechanism for shutting off properly. What happens then is you have a very large water bill. If you should need to replace the refill mechanism because you've tried to adjust it and you cannot get the water level to adjust to the proper height, you may need to replace it with what we call here a high standard float type of refill mechanism. These are relatively cheap. They run anywhere between $12 to $14 out on the market. And if you are fairly mechanically inclined, you can change these out yourself. It just needs a pair of pliers, some towels down here to absorb water, flush the tank, shut the water off at the 90-degree valve, and you can drop a new one in less than 15 minutes. This is also like a carburetor on a car. If it's not adjusted properly, it will waste water, just like a carburetor will waste gas. Very simple. When the tank fills up with water, it lifts the float mechanism up. Once it reaches the height that it's been adjusted to, it will shut off automatically. If it does not shut off 1 inch below the overflow, that is your ideal point, 1 inch below, some minor adjustments with either your fingers or a small flat tip screwdriver will make the adjustments correct so that the water level in the tank is at least 1 inch below the overflow tube. Today we provided you with some helpful tips to save money and conserve our precious resources. Don't hesitate to call Montgomery County Water Services at 781-2688. Thank you.